Last night, an incredible hockey game. The first period was about as good of goal-free hockey as you are going to find. Both teams had scoring chances. I don't think either head coach liked it.
No.
Because both teams had too many scoring chances, but there were no goals. There were, oh my gosh, so many good chances. Each team, I think, had 5 grade A scoring chances in the first period. Way too many for Rod Brind'amour to be comfortable with. I'm sure he wasn't.
Freddie was flopping all over the place in the first period.
Yeah, there was one where he was like, will you please get up?
I know. I literally screamed at my TV, Freddie, please get up.
No, you can't lay down here.
Yeah.
Like, no napping.
Right.
Unless you have the walrus from that commercial, in which case.
Which is fantastic, by the way.
I love that commercial. I'm glad they brought it back.
Yeah.
So, dynamite hockey game. The outcome was even better. And what made it even better was who ultimately drove the bus. All right. Hurricanes are down 1-0 entering the third. I'm sort of recapping for a lot of people that already knew and know the outcome. But you're down 1-0 entering the third. Your power play has just fallen apart again.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to stop this part and go back to the beginning of this. Jordan Staal has been the best player for the Hurricanes in this series.
Hands down.
I thought Andrei Svechnikov and Seth Jarvis were the 2 best players in the Islanders series. I'm talking about forwards. I thought those were the 2 best players in terms of performance in that series. Svechnikov 1, Jarvis 2. Jarvis is not the same right now. I'd love to know if there's something up physically with him.
Yeah.
Because he has not. He's had plenty of scoring chances that he's either not pulled the trigger on or not hit home.
Yeah.
But Jordan Staal, in terms of generating offense, or should have generated offense, has been the best of the Hurricanes. Consider this. In the entire playoffs across the NHL, all right, the 16 teams that started the playoffs, the entirety of the playoffs, there are only 3 players with a higher expected goals for, individually, than Jordan Staal. In the entire playoffs, Wyatt Johnston of the Dallas Stars.
Yes.
Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers.
All great.
And Pius Suter of the Vancouver Canucks.
Yes.
Those are the only players who have the scoring chances that they have created and have been a part of. Those are the only 3 players who should have scored more goals than Jordan Staal.
Mm-hmm.
He has 1.
Yeah.
Okay? We knew it had to be coming last night. And last night, and we're going to let the head coach talk about his favorite player in a second. He is the teacher's pet.
Oh, yeah. That's fine, though.
It is 100% fine. Last night, Jordan Staal simply said that our season isn't over yet. Here's Rod Brind'amour.
Well, you and I talk about it all year and have for how many years. But I just love that people get to see in that game what he can do and what he means to this team. Because that was vintage, Jordan Staal there. So pretty impressive performance by him.
He never praises anyone. I shouldn't say that. He praises Staal. He praises Svech. Everybody else, that's what they do.
Right.
Right. But there is something about those 2 players that speaks to Rod. He sees a lot of himself, I think, in Jordan Staal.
I don't know if Rod's a hugger, but I feel like this would be one of those times if he wasn't a hugger, he would hug Staal.
It's a good point. I'll have to ask. I'll ask next time I see both players.
Tell him his best he asked.
Exactly. All right, so down a goal. Jacob Trouba with the shorthanded goal, middle of the second period, which was a deflator for Carolina because, you're on the power play. You're not supposed to be giving up goals on the power play, but now Carolina's power play is back to -1 for the series, and that's not good. But on the heels of a 3rd consecutive failed power play, and I do believe they will get that figured out. I think Carolina's power play will have something to say about Carolina advancing in this series. I absolutely believe it. They will get They will have success on the power play before we are done here. But after it all happened, 90 seconds after the power play expired, basically, Stahl took matters into his own hands.
Stahl works his way into the back end. He scores! The captain, courageous in front, and he ties it at 1.
Boy, the mental toughness with all of these chances in the series, including tonight for Jordan Stahl, to beat Schneider first of all, and not just fire the puck, but instead make an unbelievable move with all of his reach from his forehand to his backhand to tie the hockey game.
Captain Courageous.
Yeah.
Shouts to Mike Maniscalco there. All right. First of all, credit to Dmitry Orlov for the pass. Well-timed, very patient, waiting for Carolina to execute a line change because that whole sequence began with Carolina's top line on the ice. Aho, Svechnikov, Gensel all had to get off. Stahl was the first forward on, and Stahl made a beeline for the offensive zone, and Orlov made the pass perfect on his tape. Braden Schneider and Keandre Miller, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Schneider completely took a bad angle. Stahl should never... I'm not saying Jordan Stahl is molasses. He's not a slow skater. But if you're Braden Schneider, you can't let Jordan Stahl skate around you like you're going backwards. That was a bad play by the Rangers. And then Miller was very late to recognize the danger there. Maybe he didn't think that Stahl was going to easily skate around Schneider like that.
Yeah.
But Miller did nothing to prevent that move. And Stahl, for all of his, lack of offensive creativity, he is very meat and potatoes.
Puck in net.
Right? He managed to show the backhand, get Shesterkin to bite just enough, and then bring it to his forehand and reach around and get, past the pad into the empty net.
So great.
It was, and that was the goal that I think shook the Rangers and gave Carolina like 10,000 volts of electricity.
It's like when you played the Super Mario Brothers game and you got the mushroom and it just went blue, blue, blue. I can't even. Yeah.
I'm like in Miss Pac-Man mode.
There you go, or that.
Same general thing.
Yeah.
But that goal just opened it up, and from that point on, you only had to watch the next 6 minutes.
That's it.
Because the next 6 minutes told you what was going to happen in this game, to an extent. The next goal was also, vintage. What did we talk about with Carolina? The way they play, you want the bad angle shots. The bad angle shots are part of the system to create rebounds. I'll go back to Game 4. Teuvo Teravainen, the shot that led to the Steph Nason goal in the first period.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a shot to score.
No.
There's no chance that shot is going in on Shesterkin, but it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be there for a rebound, and then you have guys there. So the Shea shot from above the left face-off circle, pretty close to the wall, is there for a rebound, and somehow Yevgeny Kuznetsov beats Artemi Panarin right to the top of the crease. Here's how it sounded.
Now Nason, he'll drop this back for Kotkaniemi. Drive out in front, rebound, Kuznetsov scores! Well, the bird flew north. Carolina with a 2-1 lead at Madison Square Garden.
I love that. I love that.
It's great. And look, that's the second time Panarin got beat on the Aho goal in the first period of game number 4.
I'm surprised, but I'm happy to see Panarin dropping the ball like he has been the past couple games.
That line, Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere, has been troublesome defensively for the Rangers.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to get into this later, but Carolina's forwards are having a very good defensive series. Anyway, 3 minutes after that, great forecheck by Jack Drury. He basically, whether he gets credit for a takeaway or not, his check knocked the puck off Jacob Trouba's stick. Martin Necas was first to it. I thought he played a very good game last night, and then Jordan Martinook is in the slot.
We give it away to Necas out in front. Martinook scores! Necas to Martinook, and it's an offensive explosion in the third period. Carolina has a 3-1 lead.
I am not one to criticize the national broadcast. I don't believe in it.
Ugh.
I don't believe that they are rooting. I don't think they have a rooting interest one way or the other.
Right.
But it did seem like...
Heavy Rangers. Heavy.
It seemed to me, and he is one of my all-time favorite broadcasters. It did seem to me a little bit like Sean McDonough, not rooting for the Rangers, but looking at it through a Rangers lens.
Yes.
Because the play-by-play nationally of that play was all about the Rangers, not getting enough shots on goal. They have to get more shots on goal, less than 25 shots on goal in every game this series. And they're having this discussion while the Hurricanes are forcing the turnover.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, Martinook scores. And then you're like, what just happened here?
Yeah. There's another team on the ice.
Right. And again, I don't think they're ignoring the Hurricanes, but they were sort of preoccupied with why the Rangers were suddenly behind 2-1 when I don't know what you were watching. It was a very even hockey game.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Rangers were generating all sorts of scoring chances after the first period because the game settled down after that.
Yeah. It sounded like they had their mind made up before the game even started that the Rangers were going to win.
Right. And this is the I guess the curse of being 3-0 up in a series.
Sure.
Because the Rangers, when you're 3-0 up, I heard Arda Okal from ESPN on with the guys in ESPN today, right? Actually, was it Evan Cohen was on right before us?
Yes.
He was hosting for Greeny.
He fills
today.
in for all the shows.
Right. Evan, and he had Arda Okal on.
Yes.
And they were like, Okal's like, should the Rangers be worried? No. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe not. Probability is still on the Rangers' side.
Sure.
So if you want to say the Rangers should not be worried, I'm not going to argue with you. The Hurricanes have all the heavy lifting still to do. Mm-hmm. Only when we get to Game 7 are both teams in the same spot.
Yeah.
Right now, the Hurricanes still have a lot more heavy lifting to do than the Rangers.
Do or die.
So, but if you watch the game, after the first period, which I thought was dead even, I actually think the second period was also kind of dead even, but what happened in the second period is that the Rangers generated 0 at 5-on-5. Mm-hmm. The Rangers had 1 grade A scoring chance in the second and third periods at 5-on-5. 1. That's it. Carolina's defense had locked down. And when we got to the third, Carolina's forecheck won the game. So it was the forecheck not on the Stahl goal, but the forecheck on the Drury goal. And the way they played that period was really keeping the Rangers defending. That's what they did. The Hurricanes had the puck, and they clogged up the neutral zone. And after they made it 3-1, gosh, couldn't have been more than was it a minute later when Andrei Svechnikov threw the puck in the trash, right?
Like, here we go.
Right. By the way, we don't need criticism for Andrei just because it was his penalty.
Sure.
That's not like a stick penalty. It's not like some of those things that he's wont to do.
It wasn't like Kuzi with the slashing and what an awful penalty. He made up for it, though.
He scored a goal.
Don't do that.
So Andrei goes to the box, and the Rangers did 0 with that power play. This is what the Hurricanes penalty kill is about. You don't get chances. They didn't get, I think they had 1 shot on goal, but I don't believe it was threatening. Yeah. Maybe it was a scoring chance, but it certainly wasn't a great one, I don't believe. But Carolina kept getting the puck and knocking it down the ice, and which is what they do. And when they killed that penalty, I thought you saw the air come out of the Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
The Rangers looked at that as this is our chance to make this a 3-2 game and put scoreboard pressure back on the other team, and it did not happen. And
then the fans started walking out.
People.
Yep, they left.
Come on.
Just walking right out.
So they pulled Shesterkin with 3:44 left.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I think Peter Laviolette was right.
Right.
If you're not generating chances,
sure,
then it doesn't matter. Pull your goalie. The final score is immaterial to anything. So, yeah, you should pull your goalie if you're not generating chances, and they were generating nothing. But they didn't generate. Actually, they had a halfway decent chance in the slot, but it was blocked. The puck fell to Natchez, and he just turned and rifled it down straight down the middle.
Shot.
Geographic center of the net.
Wow.
Anyway, let me get to a couple of things about the game last night. We're going to talk to Chuck Caton, by the way, in about 6 minutes. And this is really about the guy who did it, right? It's about Jordan Staal, who carried the team. So let's start with Jordan Martinook, who was asked in the postgame what the big guy means.
I think he showed it. Just incredible play by him. I felt the whole game he was leading us, and when you got a guy that does it the same way every night and just plays the same style and in your face hard, it's not everybody wants to jump on, and that's what your captain does. He was incredible tonight. Everybody jumped on his back, and he led us for sure.
By the way, Jordan Martinook is also one of those types of players, I would point out.
Yeah.
So remember I said that Jordan Staal is fourth in the NHL in expected goals for, in terms of individual expected goals, in the entire NHL in the playoffs at 5-on-5. Jordan Martinook is fifth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
Yeah. Martinook has had, without scoring, this is his second goal. Without putting up a lot of goals, Jordan Martinook has had, I believe, a very good playoff series. He was excellent last night. By the way, Jack Drury was dynamite last night. My gosh.
I'm so glad he did not get hurt. I was so nervous with the puck that hit him like in the hamstring or something.
Back-to-back block shots.
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for sacrificing your body, Jack.
Back-to-back block shots. He had a great game. And again, I think Natchez had a good game too. One of my favorite things about Natchez is that you get brutal honesty from him in the postseason, or rather in postgame. Here's him on the power play and more.
Yeah, it's quite embarrassing to, be kind of -1 in the series on the power play. That can happen, but we show how strong we are here and in this locker room, how much we believe and really willing to do this stuff. And it was huge.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I mean,
it's true.
Find the lie.
I hate that they had a second shorthanded goal. It's true.
Find the lie. It's embarrassing that we're -1 on the power play.
Yeah.
And he's right. It is. All right. Well, we live to play one more hockey game. And maybe there will be two.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
We'll just put it out there.
But we live to play one more time.